and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the mid-year freak out tag. Nobody is tagged in this anymore. Why is it called a tag? Everybody does this in June. It's just the rules. If you're on booktube and you don't do this video, you will get assassinated. I'm wearing a jumper and it's June and I'm really warm, but you can't wear an outfit twice consecutively on booktube because you will also get assassinated. So that's why I'm compromising here with this lovely, very thick white jumper. What's there more to talk about? What is this called? Mid-year book freakout tag. Mid-year freakout. I don't heckin' know what this is called anymore. It's confusing, man. It was originally done by Ariel. I don't know where her video is anymore. Every time I mention Ariel, I have to mention that she did mine and Kim's tag. I'm just going to keep on mentioning that until we're friends. So it might be years I'm still talking about that. Anyway, this is just to kind of wrap up what we've done so far in the year. Also, I haven't been that good at making videos this year, so you probably don't know what I've been reading. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far this year? For me, this was an obvious thing that was going to happen if you knew that I read this year. It's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I originally gave The Goldfinch 5 stars. I absolutely love The Goldfinch. It might be one of my favourite books of all time. Fantastic book. So The Secret History is kind of different in lots of ways, but in some ways they're similar to The Goldfinch. So we follow a protagonist who is a male boy in his kind of early 20s. He's selected for this quite small university to go and study there. He's originally from California. Where's this set? New England, so it's kind of a different climate to what he's used to. Anyway, the main interesting thing about this book is obviously the dark academia vibes that it gives off, but also his relationship with the other characters in the book. So he meets 5 other students in this, and they all are part of a Greek class. This Greek class is heckin' wild and is like, people think it's a type of cult who aren't in it. It's very, very exclusive. Julian, who is the person who gives the course, is very selective of who he picks in his class. This book is a wild ride. I went in knowing very little about it. I was a bit surprised by some of it, and it was a bit shocking to me, and also there wasn't as much knowledge in it as I was expecting, but it's still very interesting to learn a bit about the Greeks as well. I think the main thing Donna Tartt does very well is characters and characterizations. It's interesting because she said she's tried to write poetry before, but whenever she's tried to write it, it turns into a narrative. And for me, this is quite a slow burn in lots of ways in terms of the plot. It picks up a lot in the last 100 pages, but to me it's about the characters. It's all about the characters. That's why you're there, I feel like. Next up, my phone's gone dead, so I don't know what's next up. Next up, best sequel you've read so far. I think I've only read one sequel, and that is A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. I have a whole heckin' reading vlog of this. So this is the second book in the Cadence series. It's a duology, which is nice. I think duologies is my kind of thing. So this follows where we left off from the previous book, which I don't really want to talk too much about the beginning of this book because it spoils the end of the first book. But we still have these amazing descriptions of place in this, which is why I love the first book so much. And also at the end of every chapter we're left on a cliffhanger as well, which I really enjoyed. It's a very plot driven book. I can't say I hate reviewing sequels because you can't really say anything. But the first book follows 2 characters who I can't remember the names of. Jack and some other bird. That's so rude. Jack and some other lady, I can remember her name. He's a musician and it's set on this Scottish isle which has spirits on it. It's kind of cool, kind of magical in a way. It is a fantasy novel. Jack has to come back to the island because he's been away to study music, to talk to the spirits because he's the only one who can do it through music. It has a big music element as well, and my degree is in music, so I love music in books. Really enjoyed it, very nice. Number 3, new release you haven't read yet but you want to. There are a few things. One of them is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. This is pirates books, pirates. So it's about this lady who was a pirate and she's kind of settled down into a much nicer life, a much calmer life. She's settled down, we could say, but then she is recruited back with a mission, I don't know what mission it is, that she can't resist. So what is that mission? What makes her want to go back to the seas? Also, the UK cover is a million times better than the US cover in my opinion. Thank you very much. Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So, this is The Shadow Cabinet by Juno Dawson. However, it's out today. This is not promoted. I want to go and buy it, thank you. I want to go and buy it from the shop at the weekend. I'm going into London, so hopefully I'll find it there. This is a sequel to the what's it called? I was going to say The Shadow Cabinet, that's not right. Oh yes, Her Majesty's... it's over there. Her Majesty's Royal Coven. This is based in, actually it's not, I was going to say the modern times, but it's not that modern. It's about 10 to 20 years ago when phones weren't really a thing, etc. You know, if you were alive back then, you know what it was like. And Her Majesty's Royal Coven is a part of the government that controls like witchcraft and...
Sorry for interrupting. I'm pretty sure it's coven, not coven.
Coven?
I think so.
Like oven?
Yeah. Look it up though, but I think that's what it is.
Okay, thanks. Love you. I've just been informed that I don't know how to speak. Apparently it's coven. I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time, but because I'm stubborn, I won't pronounce it coven. And I'm just gonna carry on pronouncing it coven. Oh god. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I know I'm stupid. It's fine. I don't know what this book's about. I don't know what I'm heckin' talking about. Oh yeah, section of a government is that controls witchcraft or something or other. And there's this prophecy who one of the characters, I don't remember. One of the characters is given a prophecy that someone is gonna be the damnation of civilization or something, and they're all sure that it's this one person. Is it that person? We'll find out. It's pretty dark actually. It's all fun and games until it gets dark. I want to know what happens in the second book, and now I'm thinking, should I just go to the shop and buy it? Oh no, I don't want to do this next one. Biggest disappointment. I don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet. Wolf Song by TJ Klune. This did me dirty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty and so horrible. I didn't finish this. It's bad. It's really not very good. So I got to maybe a third of the way. It's a romance book, sort of. Okay, let's just stop the facts. The facts is it's set in this American place, I can't remember where, in a forest, which I love forests, I love woods, they're great. It follows this boy. I think I've tried to get his name out of my brain permanently. Oh heck, what's his second name? I can't remember. It follows this boy, main character. I don't know who he is. He is interested, god this is so bad, he's interested in this abandoned cabin house. It's always been abandoned until suddenly this family moves in and he's like, what the hell's going on there? Anyway, cut a long story short, they're wolves. Okay, fine, interesting in fact. I didn't know wolves are very touchy-feely. It's kind of creeps me out. I don't like PDA or touching or anything like that. So already I was a bit, don't really like that. The whole synopsis thing is based around the main character. Let's just call him Jeff. That isn't his name, but whatever. Jeff. He gets this younger wolf, Ox, to speak and to interact with people. He hasn't spoken in years. Ox is about 12. Jeff is about 16. And they hold hands everywhere. It's supposed to be cute. They keep on doing this even when Ox is much older, and it's just a bit uncomfortable. However, the most uncomfortable thing happens when Ox and Jeff, his name's really not Jeff, want to form a relationship when Ox is about 17 and Jeff is in his 20s. They've known each other since they were teenagers. They've been holding hands throughout that whole time, and I feel very uncomfortable with that, because do you know what it reminds me of? Something topical. It's like the Philip Schofield scandal. That's what this book reminds me of. I don't care what your personality is. If you are an older person in their 20s who wants to go out with someone much younger, I think that's not allowed. That is wrong. And in America, that is illegal. You know, in this country, it's 16 or above is classed as whatever, you can give consent and blah blah blah. It's just exploiting your position of power. And Ox is kind of, in this book, more the alpha male as such. But it's just, in my opinion, it's just borderline. I'm gonna say it. Am I gonna say it? Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna say it. No, I won't say it. I won't say the P word, but it's bordering on that for me. I didn't like that at all, and I don't think older people should be doing that with younger people. It's wrong. So that's Wolf Song. How can people not see that in this book? How can people think this is cute? I don't understand what's going on with the heckin' world nowadays, when people don't care about evading your taxes and legends and lattes. People don't care about borderline paedophilia and Wolf Song. There you go, I said it, okay? I heckin' said it. Excellent. This is supposed to be a fun tag. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is Biggest Surprise, which is also kind of sad because it's Weather by Jenny Offal, and I was surprised by how underwhelming it is. It's very short, it's a novella, you could argue. This got marketed to me as a climate book. It's not really. It's a sub-theme. What it's about this girl called Lizzie. Well, she's kind of more of a woman actually. She has a husband and a kid. It's dull even just talking about it. She's friends with this climate activist. The climate activist is telling Lizzie how we're all gonna die, and it's all very sad and terrible, and that's the subplot, that's a sub-theme. And then Lizzie, after a while, is questioning all of her habits and thinking maybe I should live in the countryside for when we all die. And it takes a miserable look at climate change, and it's pessimistic, and I'm more of an optimist when it comes to climate change. I think we do have the solutions, and we can implement the solutions if we're proactive enough, and I think there's lots of people who are proactive now. That doesn't mean change is going to happen because it comes from a governmental standpoint. They're the people who implement the policies and the laws, etc. Anyway, it was just kind of more about family relationships as well. She was thinking of cheating on her husband at one point. I was like, why? I don't care about your life. It's just boring. Also, look at this cover. That doesn't tell me that it's about a woman going through a midlife crisis. Let's put some positivity in this video. New favourite author. Newest favourite author. I don't know what words are at this point. I don't have one, but I would say Donna Tartt if I could say anyone. 2 of her books out of 3 are exceptional, are 5 stars. I enjoyed them very much. There's only 1 left, so if that's a 5-star as well, then surely she's my favourite author ever. Another favourite book of mine is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, but I read another one of his books, a big chunker one, and it was boring and terrible. So he's not my favourite author. Who is? I don't know. I don't know. So maybe her. That's my answer. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, now you're just going to judge me even more for this one, which is Newest Fictional Crush. Am I a terrible person? Oh god, it nearly all went wrong. Am I a terrible person for thinking this? You're thinking, who is she going to say she's getting the heckin' secret history out? Oh no, I don't usually, oh god, I don't usually have fictional crushes or fancy people in books, but I did kind of fancy someone in this, and don't judge me, I started fancying him before all the stuff happens. I think Henry is quite nice, I suppose. This isn't the kind of question that people don't want you to say Henry from The Secret History for this. They want you to say like Jacob from Twilight. They don't want you to say Henry from The Secret History because that unravels lots of different things about you as a person if you say that. But yeah, What does that say about me? I don't know. My heckin' battery's gonna run out. Right, new favourite character, Henry from The Secret History. He's great, I love him. Yeah. Okay, a book that made you cry. I don't cry, I'm emotionally vacant. Number 11, a book that made you happy. And Away by Bob Mortimer. He's funny, he's a comedian, he made me laugh, it was a good time. I've spoken about this so heckin' much, but I loved it. Right, come on, we're getting through. Most beautiful book you've got so far this year. The Book That Wouldn't Burn. Look at that. Stunning, stunning. Currently reading it, it's real heckin' long. It's 200,000 words, this book. I've been reading it for 2 weeks and that's how far through I am. What's going on, man? I don't know. Lastly, oh god, are we gonna make it? I didn't make it. I had to change the battery. Well, that means that I can breathe and not get overly flustered in my big jumper. Okay, so what were we on? I can relax now. We can have a good time. The next question was, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, I need to read The Shadow Cabinet, like I've spoken about already. I need to read The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, and I need to read more of, oh right, yeah. I was reading that as a title, more of the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, because I really liked the first one. I gave it 5 stars, and I think it's just been announced that one's coming out called Before You, what is it? Before You Die? Before We Say Goodbye. I was close with Before We Die, it rhymes. That sounds like it's going to be the last one. I don't know if it is, so I want to read all of them. The only thing is, something that annoys me, is hardbacks that are not the right size. Like this. Another thing I didn't like about Weather is it's too small. That's the end. I am boiling. Every single pore at the moment that I own is emitting some sweat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.